Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have another market overview. We're going to discuss what happened last week in the market and what we could possibly see this upcoming week. So let's get into it. So last week we saw the market go down a good bit. We saw the Dow Jones go down about 1,100 points, so about 3.7%. This NASDAQ went down about 470 points, and that's about 4.1%. Then we had the S&P 500 go down about 160 points, and that's about 4%. So why was that? What happened? Well, the large drops were due to the Federal Reserve raising interest rates about 0.75%. Was that expected to happen? Yeah, of course it was. They pretty much told us they were going to do that at the Jackson Hole meeting. Also, we got to see the economic projections report that they came out with, and you can learn more about that in my previous video, but just a little detail on that. We saw what they were planning to do with interest rates the whole way until 2025, and that gave investors a lot of insight on what's going to happen in the future. Number one, in the next upcoming year, they're planning to keep rates between 4 and 4.75%. In the year following 2024, they're going to plan on raising rates and keeping them right around 4%. And then finally, in 2025, they're planning to keep them around 3%. So why did that cause the market to drop so much? Well, that's because those interest rates are pretty high. Yeah, the federal funds rate has been around zero ever since 2008. They really haven't increased it that much. Why is that a problem? Well, that meant that money was basically free to borrow on, and people got used to having really, really low interest rates for the debt that they were trying to get. That meant it was almost free to have debt, which was great for people trying to buy things and spend more money, and even for the economy. But that's what kind of led us into this recessionary period. Well, with all that being said, let's talk about what's happening this week in the market. I don't think it's going to be quite as bad as it was last week and the week before. I honestly think we could see a little bump in the market. I don't want to call it a dead cat bounce because I think that's a little bit longer term, maybe, a 2 or 3 week thing. But I think this next week is going to be a decently strong week in the market, maybe around 3 to 5% upkeep in the market. So make sure to keep an eye on that. Also, what is a dead cat bounce? So just so we're on the same page on this, a dead cat bounce is whenever we're in a bear market and the market decides that it's going to go up a little bit. So this could be, I guess some people would consider a couple days, but I'm going to consider it a couple weeks that the market would continue to go up. We saw this maybe about a month ago where the market really shot off, did really great, and then it came back down to reality where we're at the levels we're at now. So I see a little bump in the market coming this next week, and that's because we have a lot of earnings reports. I think they're going to be decent. I think people are going to like what they see, but in all reality, I think the guidance isn't going to be great. But I think the quarter numbers are going to be just fine. So I'm going to leave a list on the screen of some of the really big reports we see coming out this week, but I'll also leave a link in the description of a whole entire list of all the stocks we're going to see come out of their earnings report this week. So make sure you check for that. With that bit of insight, what do I think we should be doing? Well, obviously, as a long-term investor, I think you should be holding your stocks. Yeah, this is a great little upturn if you need to maybe cash out if you really need some cash, but honestly, you should be trying to keep your money in the stock market during this downturn that we're having. What does that mean for your current plays, though? Before I said about making sure that we're using covered calls during this downturn. Well, this week I'd be a little careful with that. Maybe set the strike price a little higher, or maybe not participate this week. If you have any put options or you're shorting the market, make sure you're careful of that because I don't think this week it's going to go super great. But obviously, do whatever you think you're seeing in the market and invest with your own intuition. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. Make sure you leave a comment below so I know if you guys like this content, want something different from these market overviews, or any other topics you want me to discuss on this channel. I really enjoy getting to know what you guys want and putting the content out that you guys enjoy. Anyways, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.